Hello everyone, Minky here with the next part, the final video of, the final video I'm recording for Let's Play Pokemon Gen 2 Original AEFE. So, today we are taking on Mount Silver. So as you can see, I put the whole team today, or the whole squad. I've got the 3 team members and the 3 Mews for, with all of the, outside moves kind of thing. Because I know we need Flash. We don't need Flash, but I want to show where I'm going and whatnot. I don't want to just keep you in the dark about it, because that would be, it wouldn't be very fun, I don't think, unless you knew the dungeon well, which I sadly don't. I don't know the dungeon that well, to the point where I can just go through it, if you will. I kinda can, well not kinda can, I can't, but I do have a map up from Bulbapedia to check that. Level 20? What? Level 20? Really? But yeah, I do have a map up from Bulbapedia, so I'll link that down below. It's weird though, because the layout, in the first room, it's the same layout in all 3 games. Oh yeah, I forgot I didn't have space. But yeah, it's the same layout in all 3 games. But, in the first room, for whatever reason, the items aren't there. But in the second, third, and fourth room, well, but not the 5th room, because the 5th room is kind of not all there. But in the second, third, and fourth room, the items are there. Even though you'd probably think, maybe that's why the rooms are there, considering that these rooms are basically, very short, even without the subtitles that they have, because, there's only 3 floors to this dungeon, at least in Gen 2. I didn't really check the remakes version, but in this version, there's only 3 main rooms, and then there's 2 additional rooms that are just a little room, if you will, that has an item in it. And their titles, if you will, for those 2 small rooms, is Item Chamber. Not literally item, it's just the item that they are. So in one case it's a max with 5, and in another case it's a full restore. But it's still, just Item Chamber, if you will. Whereas the other rooms, or the other floors even, if you will, are called, 1F, 2F, and I don't know what the 3rd one is called, because I don't have it on the screen, but, it's obviously, I think it's called a Summit. I think that's what the last one is, but, it is what it is, I guess. Now, I'm guessing, I completely forgot that I have a full bag, because right now I have, a lot of items in my bag, which I'll go over in a second, actually, just for the sake of argument, but, obviously it means I won't be able to do anything, really, for this game, for this video, where I can show off all the items, or at least I can show off the items now, so you've seen them, but I can't pick them up or anything, I can't collect them, so I might as well just leave them and then come back in the Aftermath series. So, what I have right now is 2 max repels, just in case the spawns get too aggressive, if you will. I've got all the Apricons that I'm currently using. I've only got these 4 left to go, which totals at 270 plus 29, which is 299. Wow, I've only got 299 left to go. I've got Moonstones, I've got 37 Moonstones actually, which are a weekly event every Monday at night time, and unfortunately you can't collect them on both nights. I think I said that before in the Moonstone video, but I can't recall. I've been going to the bargain shop every Monday morning as well, and collecting these items, and thankfully I've been doing it every week. So far, this is the 4th week, which, by the way, today is Halloween, the 31st of October, 2025, as I record this. And, so that's just a frame of reference, if you will. So, and it has just turned 9:40 right now. So that's the time right now. And, these bargain shop things, the guy only spawns on Monday mornings, and he only sells these items for, a slightly cheaper price than what they're supposed to go for. And the nugget, for example, the nugget, when you sell it, it goes for 5,000 Pokequid, but when you buy it from the bargain shop, you buy it for 4,500, so you buy it for 45 and then you sell it for 5,000, you sell it for 500 extra, so it is still a bargain, if you will, for you. berries to turn into berry juice, which I don't really need to do all that much anymore, to be fair. I just like to have a stack of them if you're all in the thingamajig, but maybe I don't really need to do that, to be fair. And then obviously I've got a bunch of berries as well. So it's not an awful lot, it's like only like 15, 20, like 20 items that you can store in your bag. So, I don't know. It's really weird. And I'm guessing as well that all the items are the same in all 3 games. Because typically, yeah, gold and silver are going to be the same. Crystal might be a bit different, and the Bulbapedia actually does like show off like all 3. It does say that all 3 games are the same layout, and there's literally no difference between the 3. So, you know, according to Bulbapedia, so therefore I'm assuming that the items are the same. So I'm just gonna assume that they're the same, and I don't need to worry about them, and I'll show them in the Aftermath series when I get round to it. Because obviously I do want to show it off. I do want to at least journey here, if you will, during that series, because that'll be really nice. Below here, this ledge just here, I imagine there's an item under that rock, but I don't want to verify because there's really no reason to for me at the moment, because like I said, I can't really carry it anyway. So, or I probably can't anyway, I don't know. The 2 maps I have don't say anything. And yeah, I do have 2 maps here because I actually have a map for, well actually technically I have 3 maps right here because I have my 2 books as well that are a little different, you know, one for gold and silver and one for crystal. And it's a little weird because in this room at the beginning of this room, it shows like a full-on ledge, like a full-on barrier at the bottom, if you will. Like, I'll probably show it on screen just for the sake of argument, but like it shows on like a full-on barrier at the bottom to the point where you can't make any progress whatsoever. It's so weird. I mean, maybe I'm just looking at it wrong, but that's what it looks like to me, at least from what I'm seeing in the screenshot that they use. So, you know, maybe it's an earlier build or something. You know, that's certainly something. Yeah, nothing in there. So at least we confirmed that. And there's also like that ledge at the bottom. Not the bottom. We'll pass it in a second. But there's like a corner that we can go to that probably has something at the end of it. It's not shown in the map, so obviously I don't know if there is something down there. You know, if there is, then this map doesn't show it. And so, like obviously, yeah, there, right there. That little corner, if you will, that, you know, that probably has something at the end of it, you know, but obviously I'm not going to go over and show it because, well, I've shown it now technically. You know, it's going to be too easy to follow along, or not too easy, but it's going to be easy enough to follow along to the point where if you're following along and you do have space in your bag or you want to collect all the items, it's like, just go for it, you know. But obviously there's also the Aftermath series, so if you want to save the items for when I get to the Aftermath series, at least you got that, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I guess it's kind of good then that I don't need to go over the items then, because I might just, I don't know, maybe I'll speed through those 2 videos and actually, yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just like speedrun it, not speedrun it, but you know what I mean, maybe I'll just like go through it, if you will. You know, like what I did in part 1 of this video. So yeah, that's what I'll probably do. But yeah, here we are in room 2. So there's one item over here which we do need waterfall for. From the looks of it as well, from the looks of this map, you don't actually need surf or waterfall or whatsoever in order to, you know, get to the end of this dungeon. You know, you don't need to worry about that. I think the only thing you need, quote unquote, is flash. Which obviously, like, isn't needed, it just makes things easier on you, because obviously then you can see. You know, so obviously, you know, if you want to bring flash, that's all you need, really. You don't need surf or strength or core or whatever, you can just get in here with ease. That's weird. Okay, Bulbapedia's wrong then. Because that's supposed to be like an item there. So, there's supposed to be like a little, you know, island bit you can walk on there and you can get an item on, but I guess it's not there on gold. I guess then in that case, maybe I will show it off in Crystal. Well, I mean, I showed it off anyway. It's probably just there in Crystal. And, like, obviously, like I said, I'm going to show this off in the Aftermath series anyway, so at least there's that. And in fact, I do have the gold and silver map here to my right. So I can show that off. And then, you know, I can show that off in the... Well, I'm not show it off, but I can go over and just see what it says here. Because like I said, the map here in my book, there's no item here either. Even though there's supposed to be one. I know. But I guess that's another Crystal exclusive. So yeah, more, you know. Yeah, this book even says they're there. Book even says they're there. That's weird. That's really weird, that is. That's really weird how both the book and Bulbapedia say that there's supposed to be like some items here and there, but they're not. I mean, it is an endgame dungeon, so I guess there's that, but I don't know, that's weird. That's really weird, that is. I mean, but yeah, like I said, I don't even know if I'll show this dungeon off in Silver and Crystal. I mean, maybe I would in Crystal, because Crystal is obviously, like, you know, different. Nah, I'll skip on Gold and Silver, because there's really no point in showing it then. Like, I mean, I will show it off in the Aftermath series. I won't collect anything. I'll leave it completely untouched, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to set up a max repel after this because, like, it is getting a little bit much, if you will. So I'm nearly at 13 minutes into the video in terms of recording, and it's like, this is what the videos usually are. It's just 13 minutes a piece. You know, 13 minutes for gold, 13 for silver, 13 for repel, and 13 for crystal, and then but now, yeah, I'm extending it, if you will, because obviously I've got to record it's a finale, you know. But yeah, I'm really glad I managed to get back to this and sort of do an LP. It's not the ACP run that I did all the way back when, you know, stuff like that, but it's something. Yeah, it's certainly something, if you will, for this. Yeah, like obviously, like, this is the first time I'm really doing this on screen, if you will. I've done this before, I've been here before, but, you know, I'm obviously, yeah, there's another item here that's supposed to be here, but I guess it's Crystal exclusive. But yeah, like, I've done this before, I have been here before, like, a few times. Like, probably, I want to say, like, no more than 5 times, probably. Give or take. You know? Like I said, I do have memories with this game, though. Like I said, I've got memories with, like, you know, Typhlosion or whatever, with a flamethrower, but, you know. But yeah, here we are in the final chamber, the summit, if you will. This is described as a summit. So if we come all the way up here, I don't know if there's any wild encounters here, but look who it is. The man, the myth, the legend himself. Our Gen 1 original AEFE counterpart. So yeah, yeah, we're here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause here because I do want to take a little bit of a break at this point, and I'm going to continue to record afterwards and then like I said, I'm going to skip on Silver and Crystal anyway, and just do this battle in all 3 games, because I don't need to show off Mount Silver in all 3 games. You've seen it once, and you'll see it again in the Aftermath series, so there you go. So yeah, I shall see you in a few moments then. Well, it'll be a second for you guys, so yeah, I'll see you. Alright, let's do this then. Now I have healed, but only because I used like 4 berries on one of my Pokemon. Because I figured I'm not using it all that much anyway, so you know, and like I said, berry juice from the Shuckle, not really all that worth it overall, so, but I figured I'd get it anyway just for the sake of argument. So, you know, alright, let's get on then. I like the music right here, it's really nice. Dot 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 dot. That's it. That's the whole intro. Oh yeah. Now I don't know if this guy is repeatable. I don't know if you can battle Pokemon Trainer Red. Wow, Pokemon Trainer Red. He's not like an Ace Trainer or anything like that. He's just Pokemon Trainer Red. Wants to battle. Oh yeah. And level 81, okay, wow, it's a little more powerful than I was expecting. That's why I started with Ryblu. I figured maybe it'll be worth trying Ryblu out, but maybe not. Okay, jeez, that was a lot of damage. Almost half, and I don't really have any healing items. So, okay, I'm gonna swap, to be honest. Because like, this is obviously a very tough battle. The toughest in the game. This is pretty much twice as powerful as most normal encounters at this point in the game. Yeah, because obviously, like wasn't like Blue, the Fruidian City gym leader, wasn't he like around like level 60 or so? Around that level, you know, like level 50s to early level 60s, and yet we have Red, who's like 20 or 30 levels above that. Jeez. Alright. Level 81, and then he's got level 77 Venusaur. Jeez. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, I don't expect this to be too tense-ish. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be a mix of both tense and not tense, because obviously I'm finally using mostly correct moves in this case. I say mostly correct. You know what I mean? You know, like I'm using like super effective moves in this case, but like obviously, you know, I'm having to swap around and whatnot. But yeah, Blastoise is the biggest worry here, because obviously Ryblu took a big hit. So, you know, it's like obviously like I'm at a disadvantage either way. Either he's got a stab move on 2 of my Pokemon, or like Ryblu is already weakened a little bit. You know, I don't have any revives or anything. I didn't come prepared whatsoever. So this move return plus his Surf apparently are the 2 moves that are going to get used, and it's determined by those 2 moves, whichever is more powerful in the end, you know, overall between them, if you will, and if either of us get a critical hit. So, you know, I gotta hope, you know, I don't know if he has any healing items, so if he does, then he's gonna heal Blastoise, and then therefore he's gonna survive another return. Oh, I might survive another serve then, because that did only 34 damage, and so I'll have about 20 health left afterwards. And okay, nice, he didn't heal, so maybe he doesn't have any healing items. So Espeon, his only Gen 2 Pokemon, and a really interesting one at that. You know, given the manga and the what else is there? There's manga for one, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Actually, I think there's the manga, if you will, which I have been reading up on. Well, I say I've been reading up on. I've been collecting it again since the escape. So obviously, but I haven't been able to read it in such a long time. I need to catch up. I really do. Snorlax, okay. Next one is Snorlax. But like, his team is really interesting because like the obvious explanation for why he has all 3 starters is simply because that this version of Red is the yellow version. So all 3 of these games are a sequel to Pokemon Yellow, effectively, because obviously he's got Pikachu for one, right? He's got Pikachu, but then he's also got the 3 starters, the 3 actual Kanto starters. Hence why he's got, you know, all 4, you know, which you can get in Pokemon Yellow without trading. Obviously, though, there's also the point about how he could easily just trade for the other 2 starters in Red and Blue, and then he can obviously, he picks one of them anyway, and he gets Pikachu anyway in the wild. There is that, but yeah, there is that point to it, but you know what I mean. It's like so obviously I feel like it could work either way. Oh, they're faster. Blue might faint here actually. Wow. Only 6 damage. Alright, let's see. Is this gonna faint them? It's gonna be the win. Jeez, the blaring of the low health. Jeez, only 18 damage. Is that like 1/16? Okay, I'm down. I've surely got to be down by that. Surely. Oh, damn. I was really hoping I'd like survive on like 1 or 2 HP, or like randomly, like maybe he'd randomly like just like, oh, randomly he's miscalculated and it's only done like half the damage or something. Or not, maybe not miscalculated, but you know, like it's just not enough to defeat Blue. But oh well. Hey, at least I can say I finished Charizard off without a super effective attack, right? I tried to not go for Bite or Crunch in that case because, like, obviously I'm gonna hit anyway. You know, I'm gonna hit them anyway, so it's like, obviously I might as well just go for Faint Attack anyway, because it's not gonna change anything, you know? But yeah, there's the battle. Now, I believe that if I click A here to progress to, oh wait, yeah, obviously I've got to get the money. So I get that, and then, after this, it should move on to the, continue on, and then obviously, well, let's see, because I can edit if I need to, so let's see. Dot 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 dot. And then he disappears. And okay, that's the end, where it says Pokemon Gold version staff. So it's obviously starting the credits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out, because I'm going to show off, obviously, I'm going to show it off in Crystal instead when we do that, because obviously I do it in Gold, Silver, Crystal, obviously. And then when I'm done, oh, in the Aftermath series, I will show off both credits, just for the sake of argument, because I know, obviously, I feel like I should show off the credits anyway in both games, in all 3 games anyway. And obviously I've already done Crystal in this video and in the previous video for what I'm doing, so, you know, so yeah, I shall see you in a few moments again then, when I load up Silver to do that game, which, by the way, it's 10:11 AM right now, as I record this on the same day. It's all being recorded on the same day, so, just so you're aware when I'm recording this, if you will. So, yeah. Alright, I'll see you in a moment. Alright, it is now time for Silver, and, okay, wow, you can find encounters in this room. Okay, wow. Are these the strongest encounters you can get? I want to presume so. I want to presume that these are the strongest encounters, the strongest wild encounters you can get in the game. Because, like, obviously with the League, if you go to the League and battle it, you know, you can battle it as many times as you want in this game. But, like, I don't want to keep on going in and getting training from there, because you have to go through all 5 trainers, and it gives you, like, it puts in the Hall of Fames for you. So I don't want to continue doing that one, because otherwise then it's just like gonna fill up and whatever. It's just gonna have its own other issues. Yeah, sure, it gives you money, but you know, so I guess there's that. You know, and in Gold, where there's no Persian or Meowth you can get, and as far as I'm aware, no way to get payday in that game. You know, without trading or whatever, without glitching. And you know, you're kind of stuck with that method, if you will, or other people finding you or the bargain shop every week, but. You know, But yeah, here's red. I love how the music just stops to be dramatic, and then it's like the champion music. But I don't know if red respawns either. I've never checked in this game. I think he does in Hogwarts Soul Silver daily, but I can't be sure on that. You know, it's one of those things that I can't, like, I couldn't tell you for definite, but at the same time I feel like, you know, I feel like it probably is the case that, wow, that charm was just enough to let them survive. But yeah, like, I feel like, oh, he does have a full restore. So did he just save it for Pikachu? I don't know, man. But anyway, what's I saying? I feel like he does in Hogwarts Soul Silver. You know, I don't know. There's Thunder. What do we get paralyzed from this? Okay, nice. But yeah, there is that. I don't know if you can train off of red, but obviously red though is then even later game than the league, you know. So I'm just trying to think of like ways of like, what's a good way of earning money, if you will, in these games. What's a good way of doing that? Because like, obviously if you can't get Meowth. There is that. Meowth's a very good one because obviously, you know, you can use Payday and the Amulet coin on them, right? So they've got that at their disposal. But in gold, you can't get Meowth. You know, you're stuck without Meowth at all in gold. You know, and if you don't have trading, if you can't trade at all, or if you don't want to cheat or anything, or glitch, you know, you can't get Meowth. And as far as I'm aware, there's really no way to get Payday in Pokemon Gold without getting a Meowth from somewhere. You know, I don't think there is any way to get Payday. So I'd love to know if there is a way, you know, without trading and whatnot, obviously. But wow, 2 dodges from 1 accuracy drop. That's actually really nice. But yeah, like, that's something. So A Charizard, of course I'm not going to keep Mickey out for this because it's we're about neck and neck in terms of levels. That's a pretty nice Charizard sprite though. It's really nice. I never really checked actually the sprites of the Pokemon. I didn't really comment on them in gold though. I do hope you can rebattle red then. I'll have to check. Fortunately, I'm not editing this tomorrow. So I can just edit this. I'll edit this in a bit, and then I can see if red will be here again. Wow, that's a crit as well. And if he is here, then I'll say, I'll put in a call out whether or not he's here again. Hopefully he is, because obviously then this will be a very good place to train. Because, like, obviously for one, you've got, like, obviously the fact that he's just one trainer and he's not that hard to get to, if you will. You know, he really isn't that hard to get to. In fact, like I said, the only HM you quote-unquote need is Flash. So, you know, that's the only thing you need to worry about in this case. You know, nothing else really. But other than that, like, obviously, like, and you don't even need Flash, to be fair. Like I said, you don't need it. It just helps. You know, it's one of those things where it's just nice to have. But if you don't have it, then it's like whatever, you know, or not whatever, but you know what I mean, you know. Oh yeah, I was talking earlier about the I love how I'm benefiting from this sunny day. I was talking earlier about Red's team in this game. So obviously he's got the 4 starters, right? The 4 like starters you can get from Red, Blue, and Yellow, including Pikachu, but not Eevee, because technically Eevee is a starter in those games. And kind of, I don't know. Do you define Pikachu and Eevee as starters? It's a little weird, but you know, it's one of those things. But you know what I mean. He's got those 4 starters, right? Or he's got all those 4 Pokemon, and like I said, he's guaranteed to have picked one of them, and he can also get Pikachu, either be it from the wild or because he legit started with them, if you will. And then the other two starters, either he did get anyway because it's emerald, not emerald, it's because it's yellow, or he got them because he traded with someone. You know, because maybe someone did trade with Red in between the 3 years between you know, the original games and these games, because that is completely possible. And he's got Snore. I mean, that makes sense. Why wouldn't he have Snore? No, my study day. I think I used that once. No, actually no. I think I used it twice. It's still pretty funny that I used it twice, but oh well. But yeah, what else was there? But yeah, as for the other two Pokemon, so Eevee, like, it's theorized that Eevee is the gift Pokemon, or Espeon I should say. It's theorized that Eevee is obviously the Pokemon that he got from where did he get Eevee? Celadon, that's it. I was thinking of Bill, because that's where you get the Eevee in this game. But you know, you got the Eevee there. Oh jeez, really? It's gonna be a pain to deal with. I guess I'll just stick with Flamethrower, because is that the most powerful move? I don't know if that or Earthquake is the most powerful move. I don't know, maybe Rock Slide should be good as well, because Rock Slide can make them flinch. But I guess Body Slam is nice as well, because that can paralyze them, and therefore that's two things making them potentially miss their turn. But the Eevee you get from Celadon, right, in the original games. So there is that. It's a crit, no ways it's not a crit. So that's where you get Eevee from. And then, what about the other ones? The other one, Snorlax. So obviously Snorlax. Now in Red and Blue and Yellow, there was two Snorlaxes out in the wild, if you will. They were both stationary encounters. One of which was where was it? They were like near Celadon, and the other one was like at the intersection between Vermilion and Lavender Town, but not near Saffron City. It was at the other one. That one, the one near Lavender and Vermilion. What? Are you serious? I led them on 1 HP. Are you for real? But that's the one near Vermilion and you know, Lavender. That's the one that's theorized to be the one that's in this game, if you would, the one that I caught earlier on in this LP. I think in episode 10, might be in episode 9. So there is that one. Jeez, look how little Flamethrower did. I'm gonna have to swap. That's a crit. And then whereas the other one is the one near Celadon is theorized to be the one that Red here has got. You know, obviously having caught one of them. So obviously there's that. But obviously the Celadon one could have just walked all the way down to Diglett's Cave. There is that as well. So there is that. And then as for... So obviously, and then Eevee obviously evolved during the day. Yes, thank you. It almost looked like it wasn't going to faint. Like it wasn't going to deplete entirely. And then, now in Heart Gold Soul Silver, I think instead of Espeon, I think he has... Thingamajig instead. I think he has Lapras instead. Which can obviously be contributed to the fact that, like, you get a Lapras anyway. Did I just hear a random sound effect? I don't know. but like, you know, like you get a Lapras obviously from Silphco, so that's probably where the Lapras came from for red there. That's in Hot Gold and Soul Silver, obviously. So there is that. And one last thing before I forget, because I know, like, I mean, I know I've got Crystal still left to record, but I did check in Crystal to see if there's like extra items or whatever. I did check some of the item locations, and yeah, the Bulbapedia map, like most of these maps seem to be taken from Crystal directly, but just copy pasted it for the Gold and Silver sections. So it is a little misleading, or not even misleading, it's misinformation, because technically it's not even true. You know, for Gold and Silver. It's true for Crystal, but not for Gold and Silver. So, you know, that's something I feel like they need to fix at some point. I mean, obviously, it's very, like, one of the first things you kind of learn on the internet is just don't believe everything you see on the internet, you know. But at the same time, it's like, this is like an information site. You know, it's like it's supposed to be like giving information. You know, obviously I'm not saying like harass Bulbapedia or anything, because like, you know, because obviously I know they put a lot of work into it and whatever. But at the same time, you know what I mean? It's like it should be like, I feel like it should be proper information, if you will. You know, I have seen Celebi have some mess ups as well, so it's not just Bulbapedia doing it. I'm not just trying to single out Bulbapedia. It's just, and even this guide book that I have, you know, for Gold, Silver and Crystal, it's the same pages and whatever. It's the same, not the same pages, but it's the same map with the same items and whatnot. So, you know, and it doesn't show off all the items and whatnot. So, oh well. I did get a map as well. I did get a link to a map from elsewhere, but I didn't check that out. I completely forgot because things have changed since then. But anyway, I've held you long enough. I'm gonna end this little section here, and I'm gonna see you again in a few minutes. It is 10:48. It's just turned at 10:48 now. And I shall see you in a few moments again with Crystal, where we finally finish off this LP. So yeah, I shall see you in a few moments then. And finally we are here in the last little section of the video. So yeah, it's basically the end, the last battle. Level 51! Jeez, yeah, these are pretty powerful. Pretty powerful Pokemon up here. Yeah, I'm just, like, I don't know. I don't know, I've been really enjoying this LP. I've really enjoyed it over the almost year now, actually. Because like I said, it's been about a year. It's been about a year since I started this LP, you know? And back then I was talking about how, like, you know, I was recording this one Let's Play, and, you know, well, Emerald Nuzlocke as well, you know, and all that, and I was just recording, like, so much, you know, like, back then, and trying to get it all done in time. And nowadays I'm not really recording that much, to be fair. Like, in recent times, what have I recorded? I've recorded like what? I've recorded like, I think I've only recorded like 3 videos. No, 4 videos this month. I think I've only recorded 4 videos this month. Those being obviously episode 25 for this LP, you know, 3 parts, that's 3 videos. And the other video that I recorded is another Emerald Nuzlocke video, ironically. So I won't say what it is because I don't want to spoil it, but you might know what it is based on when it releases, because I might say like, oh, I recorded it on the 30th of October 2025. I'll say that at some point, or if I don't, I don't know. I don't know what it would be, but oh hey, Venusaur, nice. Now, should I go for something cool, or should I not? I'm going to go with Flame this time around, but next time maybe I'll do all 3. Maybe, or not all 3, I mean, maybe I'll do like, you know, Solar versus Venusaur, or Typhlosion versus, you know, Blastoise or something. That might be cool. You know, something where I can just kind of like mix things up, if you will, you know. But I do want to give all 3 Pokemon some screen time anyway, and like I said, the levels are pretty neck and neck, and like I said as well, I'm using Pokemon that are like, I'm using the correct moves this time. So, you know, I'm not just going for like, oh, he did it. Okay, wow. But yeah, I'm not just going for, I mean, to be fair, I didn't use the correct move there, but like, obviously I'm trying to go for the correct moves this time round. Really? Critical hit then? Yeah, I'm trying to go for the correct moves this time round because obviously we're pretty neck and neck in levels and whatnot. But maybe at some point in the future, maybe what I'll do is like, maybe I'll do like, you know, what's it called? Maybe I'll like do, you know, Feraligatr versus Venusaur, for example. Maybe I'll do that. You know, because like obviously like, then I would have a disadvantage, but I can learn moves like Ice Punch and Ice Beam. So I'd still have kind of an advantage, if you will. You know, something like that. And then, alternatively, like I've just done here, like this time around I'm doing these super effective ones. Maybe in another one I'll do the type matchups, if you will. You know, Venusaur for Thingamajig. You know, Venusaur for Meganium, that's what the name is. I keep forgetting the names, but you know. Yeah, this is the team. This is the one where I'm going for now. Cause to be fair though, to be honest, the only Let's Play that I know that I want to do, the only other Let's Play that I know I want to do for this game, if you will, or at least for one of these games anyway, is the ASAP run. And I don't know if I'm going to do more ASAP runs. Like, I don't know if I'm going to do just the one ASAP run, or if it'll just be, or if there'll be more than just the one. We'll have to see on that, but. Or it might not even be ASAP runs, there might be other playthroughs I do in the future as well, like, not the Aftermath series, because that doesn't really count in the sense of, in the same sense, because that's just a continuation of the AEFE series as I do. But like, obviously there's the point of, you know, what's it called, like, there's obviously the ASAP run that I could do, that I will do, but that's just one LP. I don't know if I'll do like another Let's Play, if you will, and the ASAP run, or the LP movie, if you will, that I've got, I wouldn't really count that, to be honest, because, like, I don't really show this off, if you will, you know, because I obviously didn't get up to this point in the game, if you will, so I can't really take that, or anything. I have to go with, you know, I have to go with, like, actual, you know, just what I did do, if you will, in that Let's Play. And I taught Toxic to Meganium, by the way, but like that's only like, that only means like, as far as I'm aware, this is only one of 2 times where I'll be battling Red on the channel, in this case, if you will, at least in you know, Gen 2, you know, the original Gen 2 games, you know, not necessarily, because I know I'm going to be battling Red again in the future, where I tackle Hot Gun or Silver for the channel, which I would do at least twice more times, so maybe I can do them then. Maybe I'll have the choice then, so I guess technically I've got a few choices there, but, you know, it is what it is, you know. It is what it is with all this kind of stuff, you know, it's a lot, you know. But hey, at least I've got, like, you know, at least I've got, you know, technically 4 battles against them then, technically, if you will. Even though it's not Gen 2 all the time, I've at least got 4 chances guaranteed, basically, for the channel, so there's at least that. And yeah, we did it. Nice. Not nice, but you know what I mean. And yeah, we beat Red. We beat Red. We beat the game. We finished the LP. Dot 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 dot. I think he said just 3 dots per line last time. Oh yeah, it's the credits. So yeah, this is the credits. It's basically the same credits as last time, I think, but I figured I'd show them again anyway for the sake of argument. So like, this is basically the, I guess you could say, the true end to the LP, but like I said, you can watch these 3 videos, these 3, episode 25 parts, in any order you want, really, for the most part. I mean, obviously you don't get credits in the first one, and maybe, now that I think about it, maybe I should have had like the gold credits in one, silver credits in another, and gold and crystal in the third. But, oh well, I don't know, maybe I'll edit that in, I don't know, we'll see, but yeah, that's a story for another day, if you will. I say story for another day, I don't know, we'll see, I guess, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, I don't really have much else to say. I can't really think of anything to really go on, if you will, to really end the LP off, unfortunately. I mean, like I said, it's been a lot of fun, and it's been really nostalgic just going through this game again and exploring, Gen 2's Kanto again after so long. Because like, the last time I was here was in like 2019, like I think late 2019. In fact, I think it was just over 6 years ago now when I last came here, like when I last even did a video of this LP, because I think it was September 2019 when I did a video for that Let's Play. So, obviously that's just over 6 years ago now, And then, like I said, it's just been really nice exploring again and just seeing everything again, seeing Gen 2's Kanto again and whatnot, and I'd love to explore it again in the AEFE series, and as well as in the Hot Gold and Soul Silver whenever I do those games, which I don't know when I'm going to do them, but it's going to be a while before I even tackle those games, but it's I don't know, it's great, it's really great, I think, and whatnot, and I don't know, it's just great. And I've really enjoyed playing this game again like this and whatnot. I mean, I know I only did the post game. That's the point of the AEFE series, is to just, not the AEFE series, the AEFE series. That's what the point is, because that's what it literally is. The After Elite Four extras. Yeah, that's why I started. Like, jeez. And it's just been a nostalgic journey, I think, for this whole time, and it's been great, and I don't know, like I said, I want to capture some more of that sort of magic I used to have, if you will, like just casual gameplay, or more casual, like, because I do enjoy the casual side of things sometimes, but at the same time, like, obviously, I also like, I like going in with an idea in mind, like with the Ace Appearance or whatever, or the Let's Cheats, I had something in mind to tackle, if you will. Like, it wasn't just a simple Let's Play, it was a genuine, project, if you will, it was genuinely something more than just a Let's Play, like, that's what I typically do nowadays, is do a bit more than just a Let's Play, which I know obviously the AEFE series is probably aren't going to be that, like, not that much. It's just going to be the post game for the most part, but obviously, like, I'm doing something, with these games, and it's just, I don't know, it's, I want to do more, like I said, I'm thinking of doing more casual playthroughs. I'm not sure what, though. I don't know what game I'm going to do, but I don't know. I've got to check, my games that I can play at the moment, and I'm kind of limited at the minute because I can't really play my N64 or GameCube at the minute, but soon I'll be able to, I should be able to play them again soon. And if not, I can see about playing something else casually on the side, if you will. And I think I said this before as well, but I did a Zelda series, like, not that long ago, and it was like split up into 2. Like, it was split up into the actual project side of things, and then the side part of it, if you will, the like a Let's Play portion of it, if you will, where it was just casual. It wasn't like anything. I didn't record the whole game, unfortunately, but I did record something. I did record bits and pieces, if you will, and like, thinking about it, like I might do more like that, where maybe I'll make like do stuff like that, where like you've got the let's play, you've got like the actual let's play for one, or you know, a casual let's play, but then you've also got the project side of things, where I just tackle certain points of the game for a project, if you will, for an actual project. And then I've just got the casual let's play on the side, if you will, as well. That I've got that going on, so you know, there's that. But I don't know what game I want to do at the moment, so I don't know. I'll give it a check and maybe I'll have a look at what I can do and whatnot. But you know, in the meantime, I mean, I've already got some plans anyway for some let's plays. I've already kind of promised myself certain ones. Like, I know I've got some videos for Emerald Nuzlocke to do soon. I've got to get them out soon, and then I've got another let's play planned, kind of in conjunction with that, if you will, as well as a few other things as well. I've got a few that I've already promised, if you will, that I'm going to do, and I'm going to do them because I want to withhold my promise as much as I can. But at the same time, other ones of let's plays that I've got that I have promised I will do, be it to you guys or be it to myself or whatever, like I've still got to do those obviously, but I haven't got a date for them yet. So you know, at the moment, like obviously I'm going to see how I can handle things, and hopefully it won't be as overwhelming, and hopefully I can get like things properly rolling, if you will, and going good, if you will, that kind of thing. So, you know, it'd be really nice. But in the meantime, that is the end of this let's play. So I'm going to I don't know. I really appreciate you guys being here. I really appreciate you viewing and whatnot. You know, I can't thank you enough for joining me on this adventure, and I really hope you enjoyed, because I do genuinely love doing this. You know, I do enjoy doing all these videos and whatnot. It's really nostalgic, even though it's right now. It's in the moment. It's still nostalgic to me, if you will, if that makes sense. Like, maybe not because it's in the now and it's not like looking back, but I'm really enjoying it in the sense of like just being able to do it, if you will, if that makes sense. You know, it's like that kind of feeling when you're a kid playing your Game Boy under the covers or whatever, you know, or your DS or whatever, that kind of thing. You know, it's that I feel that kind of idea, if you will, with this. But you know, on that note, I'm going to thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a really minky day.